welcome to our channel. My name's Myra.
And I'm Samantha.
And we are the Robles girls. Thank you so much for everybody that has showed us love with our first video and our journey to share what we went through and just share our lives with you guys, honestly. Not just, we don't want to be defined with infertility. We just want to show our story and hope that you like it and you're inspired to keep going in a difficult time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you to everyone who has liked, commented, subscribed. Anybody that has reached out to us and asked questions, we're more than welcome to answer anything that you would like to have answered. If we can help in that, that's okay. But yeah, so thank you again. This is our second video that we wanted to talk about our second year of infertility. So pretty much that starts with me going to the OB, letting her know that, you know, I have been trying with our known donor for a year, and my OB at the time didn't understand what was going on pretty much. So I did let her know that, you know, this is me trying to conceive with a known donor. We're not trying to do it the old-fashioned way. And she just didn't understand. She was just like, okay, well, keep trying. You know, it's been a year, but keep trying. But keep trying. So
it was just frustrating because I think it on my end was like, are you telling her everything? Are you doing this? Are you doing your part? It was just really frustrating because, you know, we are a same-sex couple, and she was just not understanding what we were trying to do and what was going on. So from there we got a second opinion, and then she actually referred us to the Center of Reproductive Medicine, and that's where our journey with Dr. Crochet started.
And from there, that's when we found out, you know, we went more in depth as far as what could be the problem of me not conceiving with our known donor. Because once we talked to Dr. Crochet and we went to him and let him know the
situation and what we had been trying to do
and how long we did it for, you know,
and how often, every month, everything.
So he was just pretty much, he was like, you should have been pregnant by now if y'all did you know, try for this long, y'all tried for this amount of time during your fertile window. He's like, you should have been pregnant by now. So, you know, these are your options. We'll see what you have to do, pretty much. So we went in initially for the consult. That's when he told us everything. And then after that, I had to go back in, do blood work, do tests. I went back I had to get my fallopian tubes checked, pretty much. Then they had to check my cervix, uterus, all that kind of stuff. I can't even remember anymore.
Hormone levels.
Yes, they checked everything. And so once that was done, we had our
first consult.
We had another consult with him, and that's when we found out what was the cause of my infertility, because it did take a while, even though he said it should have. So the end result of that was I was diagnosed with a low AMH, which is an unexplained infertility. Women have it and they don't know why. It's just something that happens. And so what that is a low egg count. So for me being 30, when I went in with him for the first time, he said that the count of my eggs was that of a 40-year-old woman. So the likelihood of me conceiving was either going to be now within like these next 5 years, which was back in 2018, or I would possibly never have the chance of conceiving because of the low egg count that I had. And so with that, he recommended for us to go directly to IVF.
And he did say that that was going to be our success story. With what Sam had, which was an unexplained infertility, Sam only had a 65% chance that IVF was going to work. So when somebody says that to you and you go and you're like, no, nothing's going to be wrong, we're just going to be able to go ahead and do the IUI and get pregnant and do all of that, and when you sit there and they tell you, you know, you need IVF, it was a very difficult time for us to wrap it around. We had been trying for a year already. Nothing was working. And then for us to find out that our plan A didn't work. And then our plan B was the IUIs. And that probably wasn't going to be a success story. So then just to sit there and say plan C out of everything, that was not in our plans. That, sorry. It was just a very difficult time for us. I know my emotions were all over the place just to know that IVF was, you just hear those 3 little letters and you automatically think, how am I going to get the medicine? How am I going to get the procedures done? How it's just going to take forever. And the doctor already had told us the window was so small, and we just panicked, and it was just such a horrible time.
Even then, he had mentioned, he's like, there's some women that, you know, they try IUI first, even though they have a low AMH. He's like, they try, you know, a round or 2 of IUIs and they're successful and they don't have to have IVF, or they just go straight to IVF. So whenever I heard IVF, I was just like, crap, because that's something that we couldn't just wing out of nowhere, because you hear that and you think, you already know it's going to cost a pretty little penny. So it's just like, what do we do? And me personally, I was scared to try IVF just because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do, pretty much. I was really hoping that that wasn't what I had to do. And for it coming out that it had to, and then him saying there were success stories, that gave me a little bit of hope, and hoping that I would be one of those women that, you know, we tried IUIs and it worked. But so that's what we ended up doing. I spoke to Myra and I let her know, like, I'm not ready for IVF. It's just too much for me at the moment. It was a lot.
It's just overwhelming to hear those words, and then, you know, it's just it's a feeling I hope nobody has to go through, especially my loved ones, because it's not an easy word to swallow. It's not something that you're like, we got the money, we can do it. You know, we had to figure out what we were going to do at that point. And when somebody that you love comes and tells you, I'm not ready, can I do the IUIs? Of course I'm gonna be like, do what makes you happy, do what makes, you know, we still had hope at this point. So IUI was our biggest hope. And if she wasn't ready to do IVF, I wasn't going to make her do something that physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially we weren't ready for. So, you know, we ended up doing, before the IUIs, we had to, we went to a class,
at the Montrose Center.
At the Montrose Center, and
it was for LGBT couples that were
lesbians. Yeah, it was for more lesbians. So they do have different ones for same-sex couples, but they do have some for female and then for male. So
was it for both?
No, that one wasn't.
No,
it was just okay. Take 2. We went to the Montrose Center for a class. It was very, very, very informative. They gave us from the beginning to the end of what you have to do when going through IVF or IUI.
Just going with fertility, or just trying to conceive
in the same-sex relationship. There it goes.
So that they helped us with the ins and outs of, you know, what we can do, what our options were. There was a representative there from the California Chiro Bank, and so he spoke to us about how that whole process works with choosing a donor. And then they even had a lawyer there to help us, you know what to do after the baby's born, and if we have to adopt the baby, or she has to adopt the baby because I'm conceiving, then we can take care of that. And then at the end of the seminar, they gave us a little bag full of so much information,
goodies.
It was a lot of information, which was good, because in there was a coupon code for the California Chiro Bank. So when you're choosing a donor, there's other Chiro banks available, but we chose the California Chiro Bank especially because we had that coupon code. And
no, it's not an ad.
No, it's not an ad. But you have to pay to see these
to get more information on the donor.
To get information on the donors, and that way you can see, you know, because at the beginning the coupon was for the first tier. So there's tier 1, 2, and 3. And tier 2, you get all their medical information, all their little, you know, essays and bios and staff reactions and stuff like that. And then tier 3, you get like a keepsake, pictures, I believe.
Yeah, and
one more thing you get. I don't remember.
Was it the USB?
That was a keepsake.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Well, you do get a USB with more information.
And that's free once you conceive.
yes,
So we just chose
with
we stuck with the tier 2, so we had to pay the difference of the tier 2 access of their site. So we got into that. We paid the difference of it because that coupon code helped. So we had access for 3 months, which this was, I think it was August that we did, or we did this in the summer. And so once
it had to have been August of 2018.
So during that time, we went to the seminar. So September came around. We looked for donors. There's all kinds of donors. There is different colors, different races, anything
and everything. It's like basically shopping.
Pretty much.
Like
and that felt so weird.
It felt weird. Like
it did feel weird. So
we were just like, okay, so we just choose, or we just look, and we just read, and it was just crazy. It was an adventure, like an adventure, because
it was an experience, of course.
Yeah, we were shopping for our future
donor or you know. So we filtered it pretty much, and so I just pretty much wanted, you know, someone that we can relate to, or that we can explain to our future child, you know, where they come from, and you know, their background and their heritage and stuff like that. So we did choose a Latino donor, and then I just chose curly hair, but that was it. And so we went and we looked, we filtered.
We pretty much were looking in this donor what we saw in our known donor that did not work for us,
which just came out of nowhere.
It was just out of nowhere, just exactly what
the reasons,
the values, the reasons, the everything that we wanted our known donor to be, for us to get a positive. This donor gave us exactly the same. We can't even explain how it was.
The same thing, like the same reasons why we chose our known donor. This donor that we came across on the California Cairo Bank had everything, pretty much everything
we wanted, like
in a donor for our child, our future child. So
just because our known donor is amazing and we love him, so we couldn't wrap our mind to say like we were no longer going to be able to, you know, bring this with us. So when we chose, we actually did something really cute. Remember?
Yeah.
We went on the website. We both had access to the website, and I remember we were like, okay, we need to hurry up and pick the donor. We need to hurry up already
because it goes with your fertile window. So when
you're ovulating, you have to, like, that has to be at the doctor's office.
So the day you start your period, everything starts pretty much. It's
medicine,
just like day
everything.
1, you start medicine. They start timing everything.
But wait. We did something really cute to choose our donor from the California Cairo Bank. We were like, okay, it was just overwhelming to go on the website, period. Like it was like, where do you even start to pick somebody? Like, you don't even know,
because you're not like falling in love, getting married.
You're not doing that. It's just, what do you see, what do you read, and that is it, period.
They do have baby pictures.
They do, and some of them do have adult and lookalikes, which are like
celebrity lookalikes or whatever.
So we did something really cute. We chose she chose, what was it, 3 or 5?
We chose our top 10. I think I chose 10, and then you chose 10, and then we went through our favorites and started
and lowering and lowering, and then we had our last 3, and those 3, it was just like the hardest to choose from, to do everything. Like, we were just like, okay, then you send me in a text, like we were literally on the phone. I will never forget this. It was nap time at my job, and I told her, we need to pick now, or if not, we're never gonna pick. And I was like, you tell me which one now, in the count of 3. And when we said 1, 2, 3, we both said the same one, because we just felt like It was
everything about
everything
what they
about.
explain. Like they have staff impressions. You know, he does a little bio and stuff like that. So it's just like,
and it was so weird that everything he wrote matched like a little bit of me, a little bit of Sam. Like honestly, a little bit of
the
our
reasons why we wanted our known donor. So
exactly.
it was like there was pretty much nobody else at that point who we would consider to be our donor. And then just to get more specific, when you're in the California Chiro Bank, you know, they sell the vials to you, and they're sold by the type of procedure you're having, IUI, IVF, stuff like that. And then they go in price range of anonymity pretty much, because they have anonymous donor, they have a partial anonymous donor, and then a completely anonymous donor. So
we chose
completely anonymous. So that was a filter that we checked as well, was anonymous, completely anonymous. And that was you do still get information of the donor. I think you just get like an email address,
and that's something that
there's something else. Yeah, we'll go more in depth in it. But you have to do a lot of research when you get to, because you get their medical history, family medical history, and all that kind of stuff. And then I had to get tested. Well, I didn't have to get tested. I chose to get genetically tested so that I could know what type of donor that we could use that would match, or that wouldn't pretty much clash with my DNA, so that we can have a higher success rate of trying to get pregnant. So that did help. You do have to pay for that as well separately. And then I believe they're genetically tested as well. I can't remember exactly, but the donors are genetically tested as well. So you get all this information. So it's not like you're just picking a person and that's it. You get everything
with
that you need to know about your child's dad, pretty much, and their family background.
Well,
you get that. No, but like if you are in a marriage and you get this from your husband, and you can just go ask your grandma, you know what I mean? You don't get that in this case. So they give you as much information as possible, which is very good. So we have record of all that stuff now.
Especially if the baby gets sick one day. Like, I mean, that was something that it was like no questions. Like we did not question the fact that we had to waste the money. It wasn't even money wasted at this point. It was just more of a peace of mind because we did not have a known donor. And it was just very scary to think like, what if something happens and we don't know? So we just chose
the more information that we had, the better. So that's
something that you, as you're going through this journey, you really need to think about, because if something does happen, you have that information and you're just prepared for anything, because at this point we didn't know what was going to happen.
So with that being said, we chose our donor. We purchased 2 vials because you needed a vial for an IUI, so we just chose to have 2. And then I think you save money as well. So anyways, so we bought 2 vials. I started my cycle in September, and then
started medicine.
I did start medication. I think it was Trace, and then that was just to make my body ovulate pretty much, or create more. I can't remember. So once I start doing that, I start taking that medication the day of my first cycle. I think it was cycle day 1. I started taking medication, and then they
with the IUI, it wasn't a lot of injections.
No, it wasn't. It was just an injection to make me ovulate. That way they knew when they could specifically go in and do the IUI. So the IUI is intrauterine. It is, they put it as close to your uterus as possible.
Your uterus, your bladder,
and then the sperm. They put the sperm pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's,
if I remember,
they try to get it as close to your uterus as possible. So all they have to do is go in and find the eggs, and that's it. So we did that procedure in September. I think it was the 21st. And then you wait your 2-week wait. So we waited, and we went in the beginning of October after, I think it was. And we didn't go in yet. I had to go in to blood work. So then they called me, and it was in the morning. They did call me. So we were hopeful that I was pregnant by then. And then it was my dad's birthday the day that we had the IUI, the first IUI done. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. It's a significant date. That'll be awesome. And, fingers crossed that everything worked. So when I went for that blood test, I was like, okay, this worked. They poked me, whatever. So we get a call, and I wasn't pregnant. So it was just like the world was crashing down. It was, you know, if you're trying to conceive and you can't, and you had the trouble, you know the feeling. It's just something unexplainable. And so, you know, we were a little depressed at that time. And then she kept me up.
I don't even know how I kept you up.
I don't know how either. But
myself, I was just defeated. Like, just seeing Sam poking herself, taking medicine. For the longest, she rubbed, what was it? The almond? The aceite de almendra. Mm-hmm. She rubbed that in her belly every night, like every morning. Anything, yes. Like,
to try and get
people
pregnant.
Would tell us, oh, drink this tea, or hazte en la pancita de almendra, aceite de almendra.
Do pineapple, French fries.
Everything.
Anything and everything that we could do, we tried.
When she called me and said no, it was just, I don't even know. It was just the feeling that we got back up, though. We did, and we were like, okay, you know what? Dr. Crochet said, maybe not one. You need more medicine in your system. So I'm like, okay, you know, let's do round 2, and we did.
We did that the next cycle, pretty much.
Which was my dad's birthday. Remember, we did celebrate my dad's
birthday too. I had the IUI, second IUI on her dad's birthday. So we're like, this has to work. Like, these are significant dates. So why wouldn't it work? Pretty much. So we went in that day.
That one in October.
It was in October. The same process: take medication, do the injection to ovulate, and then they timed it. Pretty much, I went in. I took the day off of work, rested, did all the good stuff again. Pineapple, French fries. You know, just take it easy, pretty much. And then we had to wait again. And so once we got that second negative, it was a pause, because we weren't going to continue to, it was just drain ourselves, you know, physically, emotionally, financially at that time. And it was like, okay, well, we know what we have to do. And even then I was still scared. I wasn't ready. So it took
a big toll on us. That second one, man, like, I can't even explain. Looking back now, I'm like, how did we, like, at that point, I lost my faith. I lost everything that I can possibly. I wasn't myself. I didn't believe in God anymore. And I didn't know what to do to help her. I didn't know anything at that point, and I lost myself. It was a very dark year, especially because I would have to get up every morning and put a smile on my face and, you know, go into my classroom and teach students and give them back to their parents and come home and feel so empty. Like, there was nothing in me that I didn't have anything in me no more. And I didn't know how I was keeping her strong when I couldn't even keep myself strong. And we ended up going to a counseling session. It was like a group session.
I went to group
therapy. We probably went twice. I'm gonna move a little bit. I can't.
It was like a infertility group therapy.
Yeah, it was like a group therapy. Couples that have been trying, gay, straight, lesbian, anything. Anybody can attend.
And it was like, we were the youngest ones there.
Surprisingly.
We were the youngest ones there. It helped a lot. Especially because the holidays were coming up. You know, a few of our people in our family knew we were trying to conceive. So it was like
2 years.
Holidays.
Yeah,
it was
baby. 2 years without us telling anybody at this point. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, it didn't, what we thought was going to work for us. Like, we thought that being quiet and keeping it to ourselves, oh, we're strong, that didn't help. It just, you have to talk, you have to show your emotions, because if you don't, it's just crazy to think that I was in such a dark place. And
you go through it. I mean, your relationship, it tests you, yourself, your partner, it was a big test for us, because I had never seen her in this dark place. I had never been in that dark place, and I've always been the strong one And
I couldn't believe that I don't even know how old I was.
No.
What, 28? At 28?
No, you were 26, 27?
No, 2018? I had just turned 28,
yeah.
and I'm just like, at 28 years old, I do not know what anxiety and depression is like. That says something. Like I'm not saying we had a perfect life, but I never had to deal with anxiety or depression. And for me to like not be myself, wake up, not even try to get ready, not even try to do my makeup or my hair. At this point, my go-to look was a bun to work, because there was nothing in me to try to keep on going. And then I think it was Thanksgiving.
We tried to like get away. We went on trips.
Yeah,
and it was just like, you forget for the meanwhile, but you still come back home and you have that reality that you're missing something, that we always knew we wanted to be moms, but it didn't affect us the way that we thought it was, until we were like, okay, why? Like, there was no more why. Like, why? Like, we just couldn't even ask that anymore. Like, I would break down and just cry and just tell Sam, like, I literally just want to be a mom. Like, that's all I ask, for us to be able to be moms and take care of somebody and show them the good things in life. Like, that is not too much to ask. And I think at this point, when we went to that counseling session, we were just going off topic, but it did help.
It helped just to see, like, just to see. I'm not saying, like, we were 2 years in, guys, and this was a living hell. Like, it was to the point where we didn't even recognize ourselves. I can't even, like, those couples that have been trying, and we were the only same-sex couple there. Everybody else was straight.
And they have been going in for longer than us.
10 years.
With different fertility issues. They were just, like, you don't even know that exist in the world. But it was just like,
for them to sit there and tell us, like, it was crazy. It was like, they told us, y'all have so much time in the world. Like, y'all are so young. I wish I knew what y'all know
at the age that we were, because they were older than us.
They were, I mean,
not
like,
that much,
maybe like 10 years. Like,
I think at the most
10 years. And it was just like, it was a slap in the face, because you don't research, you don't look up stuff until you are the one going through it. And because I wasn't going to let it affect us. Like, after a while, like, it took about like that whole month after, I think it was a month after we
at least a good month,
got our second negative.
By Thanksgiving,
we were like, okay, we need to do something. We need to open up. And I told Sam, like, let's tell our family. Like, Thanksgiving was such a big part of my dad's side of the family, with my grandpa. And he passed away
when you turned 20.
Yeah, when I turned 20. But he passed away. In all these years, when we do Thanksgiving, we always say what we're thankful, because that's what my grandpa liked, to hear what we were thankful for. And unfortunately, that year we literally had just one thing that we were thankful for, and that was we were going to start IVF. At that point, that's when we opened up to our family, and we were like, we can't take it no more. And like, it was just, this is what we're doing. We've been trying it. And everybody was surprised, because nobody knew, just my parents and my in-laws. And at this point, everybody was just like, why didn't y'all tell us? Like, they were not mad at us. They were nothing. They were just like, why didn't you tell us? We could have been there. We're always a family. And, and it's just something you choose not to talk to. And I think it was the Thanksgiving 2018 that we were just like, you're doing IVF.
And it wasn't like I'm doing IVF. It was something that we had discussed. And I'm like, okay, we have been through this all. By the time we got the second, because it was like mid-October when we had the second IUI. So, 2 weeks after that, we probably were in a good depression for like a good 2-3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, we talk all the time about our feelings. It's more Myra, but even then, it's just like, she makes me talk about things that I don't want to admit to myself and put them in words. So, we talk. I knew that, if we were going to keep trying to have a baby, that I was going to have to get over my fear of IVF. so it's like, okay, I knew she was going to be there for me. So, we decided to move forward, and
it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
That. It's never easy to say. Like, when we first started, I mean, Sam is the one, like, and I would never be able to wrap it around my head. Like, Sam is the one, when it's unexplained infertility, Sam has a regular period, regular ovulation, regular everything. And for us to just sit there and be like, this is what you have to do. And I told her, like, I don't care what it takes. We will do the IVF. We will do it, and we'll pray for it. And I think that was like the thing that we hold on to the most. Like, it was just our darkest time, and I just felt like I couldn't let her just I wasn't gonna be able to say forget you, like you need IVF, like let me try. I was never be able to say that, because I knew Sam was gonna be pregnant. I didn't know how long, I didn't know how much it was gonna take for us to be able to get to the point where we're at now. But it was just, I think year 2 just topped it off for us. Like, I think year 2 was just the hardest to accept, to, you know, find each other again, because at one point we lost each other, and it's completely normal. I mean, you're in a marriage, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs. But it was just, once Sam was like, I'm ready, that was it. Like, I knew in our hearts that this was gonna work. It was just going forward with it. Like, it was just the hardest thing.
So yeah, after that it was like, we let the holidays pass pretty much. And then after that, we're like, okay, you know, we'll get to the holidays and everything like that. You know, we already know what we're going to do. And then when New Year comes, we'll start the IVF journey. So that was pretty much where our year 2 ends. We just, you know, decided to not let it defeat us, and not to give up on what we have been hoping for, what we've dreamed about and talked about since we have been together. And it was just, I mean, we always knew we wanted to have a family, but we didn't know how we were going to try and have a family. And like, you pretty much, us as a same-sex couple, we knew that we had to either have a donor, you know, anonymous donor, or adopt, or, you know, in some type of nature that way. We didn't expect to go through this journey that we did. And then once we went through it with our known donor, and, you know, he encouraged us to, like, not give up. So why would we stop with just him? So, you know, he helped us move forward with finding our infertility issues and not giving up on having our family. And so that's why we are where we are now, pretty much. And yeah, we didn't want to give up on that. I mean, I'm the only daughter, and she's the only child and only daughter. So it's just like, just us ourselves, you know, we wanted to have a little person of our own, and to, you know, grow old with our family just like anybody else. So we didn't want to give up on that dream just yet, as far as just trying to conceive myself. And then
we weren't ready. Me and Sam talk about everything. Like, we literally talk, well, I can talk for days, but I just told her at one point, like, we were spending so much money on these IUIs that we just didn't, we were hopeful that they can work, but we just didn't, we knew that they weren't working. And for some reason or another, we were just like, I sat her down and told her, I said, we'll do the IVF, and we'll do whatever it takes to get that money and get your medicines and get whatever you need and whatever tests you need. But I told her, you know, you have to have that communication with your partner, have that communication to say enough's enough. And for us, it wasn't enough. Like, for us, spending all that money on the IUIs, like, we weren't ready to give up yet. We were just going along, and we were like, if this doesn't work, if the IVF, and we go in it with everything we have and it doesn't work, we were going to take a long pause, because
And even then, with the 2 IUIs, you had to tell me that, okay, like, we've already spent this amount of money. Like, when do we stop? Because
when is it enough?
When is it enough?
Like
and
we,
then,
as a couple, as a marriage, we were going through it. We were in our darkest place that we have ever imagined. That we never imagined to be in that place at all. And for us to say, we either continue it and finish this journey with the IVF, and after that, I was just like, we're gonna have to give ourselves a big pause, because there's no way that we were gonna be able to put that strain in our marriage, in our bank accounts, in our emotions, in our feelings, like everything that ties into why you get married with someone was on the line, because we weren't gonna put ourselves through that, and we were just gonna enjoy. If it wasn't our time, I literally told Sam, let's do IVF and let's do it with all that we have, because if not, then that's gonna be our breaking point, and that's gonna be where we decide that we're gonna take time for ourselves, and we needed that. We needed to have that pact between us for us to move forward, basically. And that was where we were like, IVF, here we come. And so we did it.
So I think this is a good stopping point.
This is a good, for year 2.
Year 2, it was a lot, sorry. But we hope to continue to give you hope, and hope to inspire you to not give up on your dreams of, having a family, and go out there and find out. You find out what's going on. If it's not happening, don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your partner. Just don't give up in general, and don't be scared to go out there and find out what you are not wanting to find out, because that could be the one thing that is stopping you from having the family that you want. And you don't, if you just have it in you to have a family and you don't want to give up, don't stop there. Be stronger for yourself. Don't do what we did, because it is hard to, just have that fear and stop yourself, because you'll be the only one stopping yourself. Because if I know that if I didn't get over my fear of IVF, I wouldn't be here. As 20 weeks pregnant, waiting to have our little boy. It's just like,
we never imagined
it because of the the 2 years.
Till this day, it feels unreal that we say these things. Like, it's scary. It's a very scary journey, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But yeah. So we will start
we'll have a year
3 video soon. But we do want to say that we're gonna start an Instagram page for Q&As. We have been getting some questions here and there, and we just want to be able to, help out as much as we can, as much as we know, because we don't know everything. Trust me, there's couples out there that have been through it way more than we have, longer than we have. But we want to help. We just want people to know that they're not alone. So we will start an Instagram page, and it's going to be the Robles Girls, and that's where we're going to be asking if you have any questions about anything, and we will do a Q&A later after we do our year 3. But thank you so much, and we love you guys, and
we hope you enjoy. So just remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we hope to continue to give you hope. So
bye guys.
Where do you stop this? Did it stop?